So this is just the copy of the NCERT diagram which I have made. So this represents a thylakoid, one thylakoid of a granum, and this is a membrane which is there which surrounds it. So now remember, inside the membrane we have the lumen, and outside the membrane we have the stroma. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. So this is the stroma side. Even this side is stroma. Everywhere surrounding is stroma. So the thylakoid membrane has the photosystems. We have already learned this, that photosystem first and second are situated on the thylakoid membrane. So these photosystems along with the electron transport chain members. So there are many members, if you remember: pheophytin, plastoquinone, cytochrome B6, cytochrome F complex, and then we have plastocyanin, and then we have photosystem first. So all those components of this electron transport system are situated on this membrane. Now what happened next is the photosystem second is involved with the photolysis of water. So whenever the water undergoes photolysis, it will accumulate the H plus here. So H plus is getting accumulated. Reason is what? H2O. Reason is H2O is splitting into H plus, an electron, and oxygen. This oxygen goes out as a byproduct. Electron goes to the photosystem second, and the H plus remains inside the lumen. So first reason why there is a gradient of proton develop is photolysis of water. Second point, electrons from here are transferred to the electron transport chain, but some of the members of this chain, example plastoquinone. Plastoquinone is a hydrogen acceptor. It is not an electron acceptor. So whenever an electron reaches it, it will pick up H plus from the stroma side. So as it picks up the H plus from stroma side, it will be causing stroma to lose H plus. And then the next is what? The plastoquinone will transfer the H plus to the next electron acceptor. But now the problem is the next electron acceptor does not receive H. It receives only electrons. So where will the H plus go? H plus will shift towards the lumen again. Second reason is this. Third reason, NADP will be turned into NADPH2. This occurs on the outer surface of the thylakoid membrane. So this H plus will come from where? Stroma. So stroma is losing continuously the hydrogen ions, and lumen is gaining the protons inside. So there develops a imbalance, or there develops a non-equilibrium, because of which there is a proton gradient. Now these protons will try to move across this thylakoid membrane from lumen to stroma through a particle which is called as F0 particle. F0 particle is a transmembrane protein. Fluid mosaic model, I think you remember. It's a transmembrane protein, or it's a transport protein, which will allow the transfer of the H plus across in one direction only. This direction is from lumen to the stroma, and as the hydrogen ions or protons move across, this will liberate sufficient energy for this F1 particle, which is called as ATP synthetase or ATP synthase or ATPase enzyme. This enzyme will join ADP with inorganic phosphate, and this will cause the formation of ATP. Every time 3 H plus move across, 1 ATP will be synthesized. So I hope this whole point is clear to you. Now let's understand this once again from another diagram. So you can check here the same diagram I have drawn in a different manner. You can see a lumen, you can see the stroma. Stroma has low H plus concentration and lumen has the higher one. This is photosystem second, this photosystem first, plastoquinone, cytochrome B6. So the water molecule is going to split to release oxygen. Electron goes to the photosystem second, and its H plus will remain inside the lumen. Second point, The plastoquinone is not a electron acceptor, it's a hydrogen acceptor, so it will pick up the hydrogen ions from the stroma. So stroma loses the hydrogen ion. That's why PQ turns into PQH2. NCERT call it as plastoquinone and plastoquinol. Quinol is the reduced form of plastoquinone. Check NCERT for that. And then when it transfers the electron to the next system, that is the cytochrome B6F complex, this will receive only electrons. So H plus will go into again lumen. Now this is the reason why H plus is more here. Now the next reason is the electron will go to plastocyanin, finally to the photosystem first, then ferredoxin, NADP reductase enzyme. This will cause the NADP to turn into NADPH2. Now electrons will come from ferredoxin, hydrogen ions will come from stroma. So stroma is losing hydrogen ions because one of the reason is this, the other reason is this. And because of this activity, H plus accumulates here. Because of water splitting activity, accumulation of H plus takes place here. So stroma finally has less H plus, lumen has more H plus. So there is a disturbance. Now this equilibrium, this non-equilibrium has to be broken. So the gradient has to be broken. So the H plus ions will try to move across the F naught particle. And during this process they liberate energy. This energy is used up by the enzyme to join ADP with inorganic phosphate to form ATP. This is how light reaction takes place. So light reaction has synonyms, please remember. It is also called as photochemical reaction, also because light energy is changed into chemical energy. You can check here. Light energy change into chemical energy, and chemical energy means ATP formation. Also called as thylakoid reaction because it occurs in the thylakoid. Also called as the Hill reaction. What are the products of the light reaction? It is ATP, NADPH2 and oxygen molecule. These are the assimilatory powers, also, or you can say this is the energy currency and this is the reducing power. And oxygen comes out as the byproduct. So we have covered the topic of light reaction. In the next class we will start with the dark reaction.